This is another technique called a collagraph. So a collagraph is a relief style print where you print the raised surfaces. So what I did is I glued down all different things onto a piece of cardboard as my backing. And I chose cardboard because it's nice and thick. You could use white glue or you could do hot glue. White glue takes longer to dry, so if you want to do it in one class period, hot glue might be the way to go. So you can glue down all different things. So I have yarn on here, I have cardboard, I have a stick, I have cardboard that actually pulled away the layer so it's kind of bumpy. I put buttons on here. I actually made a hot glue picture over here. It is up to you what you want to glue down. I have a huge list of options for you. You can do string and yarn, cardboard, bubble wrap, burlap, texture paper or plates, hot glue lines. You can put down coins, toothpicks, beads, buttons. But the thing to remember when you glue on here is you want them all to be about the same height, because the ink will only stick to the highest surfaces. So if something is really high up compared to something else, it won't work. You could even glue down flat Legos if they're all about the same height. So then what I'm going to do is, now that I have that, I'm going to take acrylic paint. You could also use tempera paint, or you can use ink, printmaking ink, and I'm going to put it on a piece of clear paper. And what I'm going to do is, I have my orange on my clear paper. I'm going to use my brayer, and I'm going to roll my brayer on it, and I'm going to try to get an even coat. So there's a little sound that it makes, and you might not be able to hear it through my microphone, but it sounds like kind of like a sticky sound. And that means I got it evenly over here. Then I'm going to take my cardboard and I'm going to roll it across here. Now it's okay if it gets onto the backing plate. That's not a big deal. But I want to make sure I get all my stuff, and I can tell already my buttons are at different heights because the ink doesn't want to stick to that. And my stick might be too high too. Trial and error, friends. Sometimes things don't always work out the first time you make it. You can always add more ink. And then what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take my piece of paper and I'm going to lay it on top of my plate. But if your place is dirty, you might actually want to have a clean scrap paper. So I'm going to lay down my clean scrap paper first. I'm going to lay down my white paper on top of it. And then I'm going to lay my print in the middle, and I'm going to press. And I'm going to try to make sure I get it all. I might have to use my Baron to press. And let's see if it worked. Oh no, I think my stick was too high on my boat and that messed it up. So let me try that again. Let's remove the stick. And let's try rolling it one more time just to see what happens. Hey, mistakes happen even to art teachers. That is okay. Roll it. Let's move my placemat out of the way. Get it nice and covered. Now I'm going to put my placemat back down. This time I'm going to lay my plate down first and lay my white paper on top of it. That might help me press, so be very careful putting it on because you don't want it to wiggle. All right. Then now I'm going to rub, and hopefully my plate's not wiggling underneath. This might be a good time to use the printing press where you're not actually rubbing and you're just pressing. And let's see if this one came out better. All right, it came out a little bit better. But that's the idea behind a collagraph. So I have a piece of cardboard as my backing, and I glued objects on there that are ideally the same height so that it works. But you can tell one of my buttons was higher than the other, and my stick was too high in my first one. But that, my friends, is a collagraph.